Hello and welcome back to the second day of Digital Transformation Conclave. We just had the inaugural, where we saw the glittering presence of governance leaders, thought leaders, and industry leaders who all shared their own views on the future of digital transformation in the country called India, the state of Odisha. And now we have a special session. It's called Fireside Chat on powering e-governance to meet growing citizen expectations. And we have two special guests with us. We have with us the program mentor of Digital Transformation Conclave, Shri Manoj Mishra, Secretary, Department of Electronics and IT, Government of Odisha. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Manoj Mishra. We have with us Mr. Debapriya Nandan, Senior Director and Head Public Sector, Oracle India. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Debapriya Nandan.
Thanks, Souvik.
Without much setting the content, because already we have discussed a lot, I'll go straight to the point of this fireside chat. My first question to Mr. Mishra will be: Odisha is in the forefront when it comes to using technology and innovation for governance. The state has won several national and international awards and accolades for using digital intervention for bringing about change. Being the Secretary IT of the state, what, in your opinion, is the secret behind uh, the success mantra of Odisha as a leader in digital transformation?
Thank you, Souvik ji, for having us for this chat. I'm really delighted to share the space with Debapriya ji, who is well connected with Odisha. Also,
My
being from
second home, sir. My second home.
absolutely. Make it your first. Make it your first.
Yeah, I will surely someday. I will surely someday.
So it's a lovely fireside chat. I hope it turns out to be. Coming to the question of Odisha gathering accolades, there are two ways I would like to answer this. One is that last 5-6 years, the social media has almost put everybody at equal footing. Earlier, we used to struggle to find the screen space or the newspaper front page space. Being a medium-sized state in the eastern side of the country, that was a struggle because the center of the universe, as they say, used to be only Delhi and Mumbai. But the social media has put it, the egalitarian system has come in through social media, and we do get to hear about good stories, whether it is from Nagaland, whether it is from Raipur, or it is from Trivandrum. We are now far more knowledgeable about good things happening all around. So therefore, I think you are hearing more about this. But this state has was reborn, so to speak, after '99 super cyclone. Uh, that probably was one of those monumental disasters that we went through, and I'll take a little time to tell you that I myself was, I can say that I was born into the government through that cyclone. On 29th October 1999 was the first day of UPSC examination in Cuttack. We were writing the exam at the super cyclone hit us, and for 3 days we were locked down in the Ravenshaw College. We didn't have a glass of water or food or anything, or to eat anything. And 3 days of that turmoil, yet 55 of us were writing the mains examination. Five of us made it through, and we are. So I am the one of the luckier ones who happens to serve my own state in the capacity as a bureaucrat. So we do value the disasters a lot, coming from personal experience. The Honorable CM Naveen Patnaik ji came to power for the first time after the cyclone in year 2000. So he saw the impact the cyclone had and how it broke the back of the state. Considering that, I think a lot of steps were taken so that regional divides were erased, and then we had to take a quantum jump in terms of adopting best practices around the world, and we didn't have anybody else to learn from our neighborhood. No other state faces as many natural calamities as Odisha does in this country. So who do you learn from? You cannot learn from Delhi, Mumbai, or for that example, Maharashtra, Gujarat, or the so-called advanced states. So we had to look outward. We had to look at the United Nations. We had to look at other countries, which have like countries like Netherlands, who have been mitigating with natural disasters, and that is how our benchmark became very high. And from there on, today, when cyclone of whichever nature, whether it is level 5 or even more severe, when it hits our state, we still, with a lot of confidence, we say that we will try to minimize casualty to zero. So that's a huge step that we have taken. And if you ask me about what is the secret behind the adoption of technology, it is what I told in the inaugural session. The secret behind adoption of technology is the purpose. If there is a purpose which is well defined, if the need is felt, then the technology will be adopted. So that is how I think the state has come through in the last 20 years, and we are where we are.
As you've said, that Odisha has learned from the past incidents and disasters, and accordingly, the state has upgraded itself using a lot of technology, and some of maybe 15 years, 10 years back, the kind of technology which Odisha has used. That was new at that time, and that's how weather forecasting and a lot of things have happened. If I'm not wrong, and when you talk about embracing new technology with a purpose, we hear a lot about cloud, AI, and everything. How this new technologies has to be embraced and has to be worked on, and with a close collaboration with industry and government. So, if I may ask the question to Debapriya, that when you talk about uh, uh, cloud, and we have been hearing a lot about Oracle latest generation cloud infrastructure, but what exactly it is and how you're also using or how Oracle Cloud is being used by Zoom and TikTok and all those things. But what is this Oracle Cloud Infra actually? What is all about? If you can shed some light on that.
Thank you, Souvik. Souvik, can I take the chance of answering your question to Mishra sir? One word. That
Yeah,
why
sure,
did
sure,
Odisha
sure,
did
sure.
so well?
But I won't give you more than a minute to answer Mishra sir,
No, I
because
will
then
take 1 second. I will use only one word. He talked of purpose. I am saying passion. Unbelievable passion that state has. You have to take your hats off. I go across the country, and I'm really a fan of that state. Okay. Anyway, coming back to the question that you asked me. Uh, Oracle was a late entrant in cloud. We all know that. We have been doing this for last only 10 years. Uh, in the last 10 years, we have made very rapid progress. We took the advantage of being a late starter. Today, we have around 24 data centers across the world. And by the end of this year, we'll have 36, which is more than any other cloud provider in the world. We are going at that rapid pace, one data center per year, per month. We already have two in India, one in Mumbai, one in Hyderabad. What is it? It is called Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. It is nothing but a Gen 2 cloud infrastructure, which we took advantage of being a late starter and imbibe all kind of technologies, all kind of security apparatus to ensure that the cloud that we offer is completely ahead of time, and we have not committed any of the mistakes that were committed by our earlier competitors. So we call it Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Gen 2. And it is super fast. It uses Oracle's own technology, 100% Oracle's own servers, which is the Sun servers. It uses Oracle VM, Oracle Linux. It uses Oracle database, Oracle middleware. Everything is Oracle. And the result of it is already being seen. The biggest VC provider, the Zoom, uses Oracle end-to-end. Unbelievable consumption happen every second. It's second to none in the world today, 8 by 8. The TikTok is still not announced. It's officially because we're still closing the PO, so I cannot talk of that. And more than that, what has happened is the acceptance of Oracle Cloud for mission critical applications in banks, in insurance companies, in stock exchanges, in rail ticket bookings across the world, in pandemic management. We have seen a huge progress over there. So Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is available in India. We have applied for the MITI certification, which is currently under progress. We hope to get it completed in a month or so, if everything goes right from today. So yes, we are investing big time in India. We have promised in our last visit when our CEO visited India, she promised to Honorable Prime Minister that we will do our best. In fact, We have met up with the Honorable CM of Odisha some time back, and we offered all kind of help as far as technology is concerned, especially to Odisha, because they are going at a breakneck speed. So we are all there to help.
So I'm sure that when you talk about data centers in some other cities, maybe who knows, in near future we can see a,
Yeah.
data center and in the state of Odisha as
Who
well.
knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. Who knows?
But that one part, if I come back to Manoj Mishra, we're talking about cloud and emerging technologies. And we already know that Odisha as a state is a pioneer in leveraging technology for good governance, and not from today, for various, from many more years. How Odisha as a state is leveraging new age emerging technologies like AI, blockchain, ML to to ensure that digital transformation is taking place at the next level, not getting stuck to what has already happened, but how to embrace the new technology, emerging technology, and use that for governance.
Uh, See, emerging tech is a ever-changing subject. What in probably in 99 2000, if Microsoft suite, MS Word and Excel were emerging tech, today AI ML is the emerging tech. So every era will have some emerging tech coming through. So it is not the particular emerging tech that is that is reverberating in the technology world, so to speak, but it is the adoption of it. Now there is a clear strategy by the government of Odisha, is that we believe there are only certain services government should provide. Rest all should be collaboratively be done. The private sector, individuals, startups, they should be able to provide services which government is providing now. So that is where the in the ecosystem of startups, Odisha is figuring as one of the prime movers. We are in the top four. We are the fourth best state in terms of promoting startups as recognized by Government of India only last month. There are three components to adoption of technology. One is there has to be a large organization who will adopt the technology, which, as an example, can be followed by others. And in a state like Odisha, there is none can match the government sector. So if the government sector starts adopting technologies which are new, then people will be able to learn fast from it. There are resistance to change by many, and once they see the result coming through, they see that the government is able to do that, then they follow suit. So we are doing a lot in terms of AI, ML, virtual reality, blockchain in agriculture farming sector, tremendously utilized. So we do recognize that government should be a consumer of emerging tech. That is one. Second has to be a collaborative ecosystem. Now, government is not equipped to talk the language of the emerging tech. What Debapriya ji can speak, I cannot speak 2% of it in this particular field. But we can be the enabler.
That's not true, sir. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
The private sector, people who are in tech business, we do understand they are miles ahead of us. So that doesn't mean we don't have a role. The role that we have is collaborate. So we have identified uh, organizations like STPI to be our partner. So what you have is the STPI's flagship programs, which are they're running in the country. They run in Odisha first. We have 8 STPI centers in collaboration with Government of Odisha in this state, largest in any state. So this is how we do a collaboration for emerging tech. Third thing, which is the most important, is cultivation of the young minds. Now, this technology is very good in terms of adapting today, but our main purpose in the government is to make sure that the students that pass out from our institutes, from our state, are equipped to take up those jobs.
Yep.
You know that the Odia community in terms of the IT sector is extremely strong. In fact, I was told which is the largest district of Odisha. So somebody corrected me in one of those IT conferences that it is Bangalore. I said why? They said more people of Odisha are in Bangalore than any of your districts, at least in terms of the GDP. So I had to accept that. So you throw a stone in places like Pune, it will hit a IT man who would have roots to Odisha. So we produce about 50,000 BTech students every year. Now, if these students are not equipped with the emerging tech, then in another 5, 7, 10 years, we'll be falling behind. So what we are doing is we are having a collaborative chair at every institute, IIT Bhubaneswar, Triple IT Bhubaneswar, NISER, you name the institute, we have a collaboration. So we have AR, VR with IIT Bhubaneswar. Similarly, different emerging techs we are housing with institutions where kids will be able to learn so that the adoption will become far stronger and better. And for a purpose, purpose is basically to ensure that they get the jobs that they deserve. So this is how we are looking at emerging tech from three prong. We do address it, and we do hope that in coming 2, 3, 4 years, Odisha will be a name in adoption of emerging tech.
That's a very positive statement from being the Secretary of IT Government of Odisha, saying that in next few years Odisha will be a leader in when it comes to embracing new technologies for good governance and governance overall. And as you have said, that government's role should be looking for collaboration and making those collaborations happen, and the results can be seen on the ground. And I can say government's role can be more of a facilitator for bring about that change. And Debapriya, your thought on what Mr. Mishra has just said, that uh, how Oracle is addressing the things of emerging technologies, keeping in mind the young generation of the future.
Okay. So thanks for asking me this, Souvik. Uh, we have something, so I'll answer it in two parts. One is addressing the young minds, which is very much a requirement if you have to really do emerging technology going ahead. So we have something called an Oracle Academy, whose main job is to adopt polytechnics, engineering colleges, technical institutes, and they provide free or all the Oracle softwares, the database and the middleware, all this, world's best softwares are provide free to the students and the colleges. And we train the train the teachers to go and train the students. And we offer joint certification at the end of those trainings so that they are market ready. We are doing it with about 7 to 8 states in the country. We would be very much happy to do it with Odisha because we strongly feel, as Mishra ji was saying, that you generate 50,000 engineering graduates. You must be generating double that amount of polytechnic graduates also. All colleges may not be, all companies may not be requiring engineering graduates. They may require polytechnic graduates also to do some maintenance job. So this is something we have ready to offer, and we are already doing it big time in the country. It's a completely CSR activity of ours. And secondly, if you would, allow me, exactly to tap the young minds. Very soon, maybe tomorrow, we will announce a hackathon which we are doing with the government of Ministry of IT, with NIC and IEEE, where we will be providing Oracle Cloud and Oracle technologies free to 50 startups to develop ideas around 6 use cases that the government has given us. One is obviously water supply management, one is around soil conservation, crop prediction, one is around education, online education and online examinations. And one is on pollution. So we are doing all these things. We strongly believe that until we promote their young minds, until we promote startups, until we look at Indianizing the component, as in the last sessions we talk of, there is not going to be progress. And as an Oracle, we have been doing this. We are going to promote it big time, and I would love to do it for along with Mishra ji also.
Yeah. So
I
that's
will go back
how.
to this and we will close this issue very, very quickly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, I think that's wonderful.
I strongly believe that it really gives a very big value beyond everything else.
I think this is how this knowledge sharing platform, like Digital Transformation Conclave, the platform, is becomes more important than just a mere virtual conclave, because here not only we are seeing divergent views or collaborative views. But we can see that end of the session or end of a fireside chat, we can see a glimmer of hope that when both government and industry actually rose to work together for emerging technologies. I think if I take a crux of this fireside chat, if I can take the crux of this fireside chat, I can say government of Odisha is ready to embrace new technology and they're looking for collaborations. It's up to industry how and where and when they want to collaborate
Agreed.
with them.
Agreed.
So with
Agreed.
this, on this, I take permission to end this fireside chat with Manoj Mishra, Secretary Department of Electronics and IT, Government of Odisha, and Debapriya Nandan, Head Public Sector Worker India. Thanks to both of you for joining us. We'll slip into a short break and then we'll have the next session of the second day of Digital Transformation Conclave, in which we'll have the discussion on digital transformation of states, a modern effective governance through emerging technologies. Do join us there after 5 minutes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Souvik. Thank you, Mr. Sir. Thank you.